Hey, everybody. Welcome to Leadership Lunch Chat. I'm Jennifer Wilson, and with me today is my good friend, Amy Vetter. Hey, Amy.
Hello.
So I'm glad to see your face, and I'm glad to have all of you join us. So thank you for coming. And sorry we're a little late. We've been having some technical difficulties. Amy's on her phone, but she's being unstoppable, and and we're here. So we thought that as we are kind of marching toward the end of 2023, that we should reflect not so much historically on what's happened this year, but more reflect on what we can envision or see coming in 2024. And so we thought we would dedicate this session to sort of what's hot and what's not, Jen and Amy's feelings and predictions for leadership and management in 2024 inside this profession. So I'm going to start us off, Amy, and then you just jump right in. And I'm going to go with a what's hot. And I think what's hot is telling a better story. And in specific, telling a better story about our profession to the whole world, starting with your own firm and the people you work with, changing and shifting the way we talk about our work, but outside of our work, to clients and to our kids and families and to college students and all the people that we can affect to try to attract more people to a career in accounting and have them come and realize what a cool profession it is. And so one of the things that in this work I've been doing on pipeline that I've encountered, and I don't know who to credit with this, so I'm sorry about that, but they've got a hashtag out there in Twitter that it's being used, and in social media in general, coolest profession around, with the C and the P and the A capitalized, which I just love. And last night I was on Twitter, kind of in the middle of the night as I was wrapping up my work, and somebody, I can't tell you who this was either, a guy that on the text Twitter hashtag says, "Oh no, I've got to go to a holiday party, and every time I go there, I have to say what I do for a living, and people ask me tax questions or try to get me to help them fill out a W-9 or a W-4 or something, like." So like they literally have a form with them or they pull it up on their phone, and and he's like, "I just can't stand it. What should I say instead?" And I responded and said, "Hey, here's what I would say. I would say I'm part of the workforce that guards our global economy." And then there was a little bit of banter about, like, should I wear a cape and that kind of stuff. But I mean, the work we're doing is amazing, and it makes a difference in so many ways. And I was on a call this morning with a group, and we were talking about our why or purpose. And one of the young people said, "Well, we do a lot of work with nonprofits, and the way I look at it is, I'm helping the nonprofits be more successful so they can help more people for the causes that they serve. And I feel like all my work has this ripple. I can feel the ripple." And I just thought, yeah, that's it. Let's tell these kinds of stories. So I think that's hot. And what's not is complaining, wearing the red badge of courage of how many hours we worked, um, crying about the negative, and never really illustrating the positive. So
Yeah, I agree. I think what's hot is telling your professional story. When each person talks about their story and not only how it's benefited their lives or helped them to overcome things in their family, to really change their financial situation because of being an accountant, but also all the impact that they've had on the clients along the way. Those stories are really important to be telling all the time. Uh, you know, what's not is just saying that, trying, I guess, not being transparent and open about your story, because that is how people connect with you. And not only when we're talking about pipeline, but the people in your firm as well. The power of telling your story and so that others can see themselves in your story and know that it wasn't just easy for you to get where you are, what you worked through to get there, and what they're going through is normal. Because I think everybody's so individualized and think that their situation is just their situation until those stories start being shared. And so I think, it's gone with the days of trying to look a certain way or be a certain way or be this conservative profession. That's what's not. That the humanness of our profession is really what began it in the first place. And getting back to that with our teams, with our staff, and with our clients is what's hot.
I agree with all that. So, we have to say, I think it's like a requisite obligatory what's hot right now, AI,
Yes.
and learning Chat GPT, and paying for the subscription version, so you can have the latest features and also, more importantly, access to the latest data set that's out there. But learning how to really use query, and playing with different forms, not just Chat GPT, but all the different forms and formats that AI is influencing. I recently I saw a friend, in the CPA community, did a AI headshot thing, and I did it too. I did it, but didn't send mine out, and she did it, and she said, "These are the three that look most like me. They kind of look like my cousin." And I got such a kick because I did it too, and I showed him to my husband, and he was like, "There's not one of those that's you." And so, obviously, there's refinement happening in these applications, but it's cool to go out and play and see what the artwork and the creative and the copywriting and the memes and the recap writing and all these things that are available with AI and all the streamlining that's happening. And of course, AI in our workflow tools, technically, AI as much as possible, in the analytics, but also productivity tools and applications and research. I love the idea of AI and research. So I think that's got to be a what's hot. And what's not is acting like you might be far enough along in your career that you don't have to learn it. I've heard a few people say that to me. And I'm like, even if you were retiring tomorrow, you have to learn AI. I don't know how you think you're going to persist and live life. It's kind of like saying, I don't think I'm going to learn to use an ATM or something back in the day when ATMs came out. I'm just going to keep writing checks. It's like, no, digital money. That's where we're headed. I don't know. I mean, that's, to me, somebody who's thinking AI is only related to work, and when I retire, I'm done. AI is already embedded in so many places in our lives, but it's going to require some different ways of thinking and engaging with our productivity tools. And we have to learn those different ways of thinking and engaging, and in particular, the art of query, as one really major skill set to be working on. And I don't care what your age is, as long as you plan to still be breathing, in the course of the next 5 years, what's hot in 24 is build the skills and play with it.
And I would say, to add on to that, what's not hot is not getting the training that you need on these tools. So what's really important is that even if it's not you, that you have subject matter experts within your firm that are learning all of the different technology that you have, so that you're not just using 10% of what it can do, that you're fully utilizing the power of the automation and not utilizing it the way that you've always done the process, that you find what pain point that tool is solving for, and actually solve for inefficiencies and productivity issues with these tools. So it's no longer okay to just keep putting tools into your business or your firm and overwhelming people, where they become more stressed because no one really knows what each is supposed to do. And then no one is streamlined on the technology. And there's no one that really is keeping up with all the updates and the latest things to be able to help the business and the firm. So, what's not hot is holding on to QuickBooks Desktop. So, these messages that are going out with everyone upset about this. What's hot is, and been hot, and will be future hot, is cloud.
What? Oh my gosh, Amy, that's a revelation.
Of your
You're
desktop.
blowing my mind. Cloud? Is it safe? No, only kidding. I support you in that one. And it's been, I'm sad. I'm sad about the sadness around QuickBooks Desktop. I get it though. I mean, it's like the end of an era. I think we should be like that, like with respect to the end of the era, and that's okay.
This is coming for years and years and years.
Yeah, it's okay. And the minute we can let it go, then we can see all the opportunity of helping all these clients transition, and all the cool consistency of service that we can deliver to the clients that all migrate there. So anyway, I hear you, and thank you for the crack up, because that was awesome. I'm gonna pick what's hot. What's hot is listening to your Generation Z employees under 26 years old, and starting forming mechanisms for listening to them and their ideas and what they perceive and what they feel and think about work, and without judgment, and letting them be who they're going to be. Because just like when the millennials came in, firms that like talked about them as if they were this distant third party and hoped that some of the attributes they could just trade those attributes, they just find other people of the same age that didn't feel that way. A lot of the things that Gen Z feels are commonly persistent, regardless of who they are or where they come from. They're digital natives. They want to be talking about how they feel. They don't want to be stressed and agitated. They do want to self-care. They do have differences from anybody else we've had in the workplace before. And yours will be unique to you, but you can't really swap them for some of these kind of global differences. They're going to be there, and we need to learn about it. And we need to start building programs and support and modifying existing policies and programs and ways of approaching the work. We have to change. I was with a group a few days ago, and I practically wanted to do like a cheerleader jump or something, and I was not a cheerleader, but I mean, I felt like, I just got so excited because they were talking about how they got with their, like their under 30 set and really got raw, rough feedback, honest, gloves off, about learning and development, about onboarding, about technical training, the whole experience when you came in. How was it? What worked and didn't work? And there was more didn't work than worked. And they reworked our whole learning programs, and they don't teach a single thing for more than 15 minutes. And that's, everything is 15 minutes, period. That's how it is now for anybody that's coming in. And then they break and they go away and they learn a little 15 minutes later, but and that's their approach. That's what they learned. That's what they heard. They're trying it. It's not right this minute heralded success or something, but they didn't stop and go, well, you'll get used to sitting in half-day trainings. They didn't discount what they were hearing. And I feel like what's hot in firms is there's a whole new group of people coming in with a whole bunch of very interesting cultural exposures and different parenting and different education than the groups that came before them had. And we better lean in and learn and listen and modify and change and transform our firms to make them love their work and be successful in their work. And I think that's hot. And what's not is thinking your millennials are your young people. Oldest is 42. That's middle-aged. So, and acting like I already learned those guys and that's enough. or something. Like we've adapted the firm to them and that's enough. No, everybody has to turn now to the new group and let's learn and listen.
So what's hot is subscription billing. Not is time billing. And I know I probably said every year, but this is a really important thing to go along with what Jen is saying, that if we keep focusing on the timesheet, this whole profession is going down with it. So, it is one of the drivers of how people get upset about the hours that they work, because you're making them write down every 10 minutes, 15 minutes of their work. Other professions work many hours, just like accountants, but they don't do timesheets. So it's very important that we move away from this, utilize all the things that we are talking about today with efficiencies and listening to your younger generations about the things that they need, and technology and AI and offshoring is hot, so that you can take some of this heavy lifting off the system so that you can get to a 45-hour work week or less year round. It is possible. So that's hot. That definitely helps recruit people into your firm when they have a more normal life. What's not is to keep saying this is just the profession.
Oh, I love it. I agree. Yes. So, along those lines, what's hot to get us there is new school KPIs that are based on results, production, deliverables, output, outcomes, and not time KPIs.
And
Well, realization, utilization, chargeability, leverage based on hours. We can do leverage, for dollars, or we could do leverage for number of people on a project, or leverage based on project parts if you're using a project management system. So leverage, I still love leverage, but I mean, rate per hour, okay, rate per hour, no, it's hours based. So revenue produced, okay, maybe margin, but I'm not thrilled with that either, because I don't want to get into cost-based work at all. I don't want to focus on, trying to get people to skimp on training new people and, skimp on using people and leveraging. So, we got to change the measures, and revenue per person, revenue per client-facing professional. There's all sorts of ways that you could measure success for different non-billable tasks like business development and people development, practice development. These are outcomes that we produce. Number of deliverables, parts of an audit, completed, number of returns reviewed of a certain complex level, so we have to begin to gauge our work products by complexity and begin project management. That's a real thing, but I promise you, when you start to get your people focused on results, deliverables, and outcomes, we will produce more of them. And so what's hot is new KPIs, and what's not is getting people to feel like being busy and spending a ton of time is winning. It's not winning, it's losing. What we need to do is charge more. We need to serve fewer clients and go way deeper with them. And we need to, work less if we can and work smarter. That's what we should be doing. And building a firm to do that, that's attractive, and people want to own that firm. They don't want to own one where we're really glorifying hours and pain.
Agreed.
Not necessary.
Yes.
Not hot. Not hot.
Just in our last few seconds, say what's hot is not treating every level of staff as the same skill set. And what's not is to eliminate where we're, or to, let's say, I guess I just did that opposite. But what I'm trying to say is that every staff person has different unique qualities, and we need to utilize that within these job descriptions and not evaluate everybody the same way, so that we're getting the full benefit of all the capacity that we have, and rework work based on where people's strengths are.
Talent, and not lump people together. I love it, Amy. I have to throw one more in, and that is, and it's too huge. It's a leadership lunch chat. Let's write it down for the future. Inclusivity. That's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Being inclusive, giving people a sense of belonging, figuring out ways to have people kind of along the lines you were just on there, with diverse talent, skill sets, diverse backgrounds, bringing them all together and making them feel included as members of our firm, also as clients, getting our profession to where the profession's cultural diversity reflects the same cultural diversity as the country. You know, that we have the same percentages of folks, non-white CPAs and accounting professionals as we have in our country, and getting our profession to feel attractive and inclusive to people with all kinds of backgrounds, and recognizing that when that level of diversity with all different sorts of talent, skills, and backgrounds makes us stronger and better and better advisors to clients for sure, and just creates a healthier, stronger overall profession, stronger firm, stronger teams. So we've got inclusivity is hot, and being pale, male, and stale is not. You can't finish. You can't follow that.
Yeah. I think you go with that as a closer.
Okay, that's two. So that's our what's hot and what's not. We would love to hear yours. Well, if you listen to this after the fact, we would love you to post in social what your hot or not is, or dispute any of ours. We'd love to engage with you on that. And I don't know if we have another Friday leadership lunch chat this year, because I didn't pay attention to the calendar. But if we do, we'll see you before 2024. But otherwise, we'll see you in the bright new year. And we hope you have a great holiday season in the meantime. Thanks, everybody. And thank you especially to Emily today, driving us on the back end, and Amy for you to come and hang out with me and make me laugh like you did today.
Thank you both.
Yeah, thanks. Bye now.